Hello, welcome to today's collective video. My name is Leah. I am a tarot and oracle reader. I am a hobbyist. I started doing it for personal reasons and I just had fun with it, and it's really helped improve my life in areas where I struggled a lot. Personally, I struggle with mental health, and this helps me deal with a lot of stress that I get when it comes to kind of like just living life and understanding what it means to live my life as a human being and as someone who might assume differently based off of who I am and so on and so forth. So I hope that whether or not you have your own mental health unique traits or not, and it doesn't have to be related to that at all. For some reason I just mentioned it, but yeah, welcome. This is about learning what is up in your life when it comes to tapping into the divine and tapping into your kind of like journey with the divine, journey with the unknown, allowing yourself to step more into the embodiment of your natural, authentic self, where all that kind of excessive social standards, taboo stuff, whatever, that deals with other people's opinions and beliefs, it's like removed from you. It's so cool. I love it. So yeah, the messages are kind of random. I just kind of pull cards, and whatever cards that really come out are like that card. I don't know if you just saw it, but sometimes they fly and I have to get them. 1 second. Excuse me. I'm back. So we'll start with it. We have Bat, Face Your Fears. This is a very, very, very pertinent, important message, period. This is like the entirety of the message or the video. And when I burp, that shit is like, excuse me, that is releasing. So right now you are in the form of releasing your fears, what holds you back, what is more so in your mind and less in your 3D reality. I would say in your mind is linked closer to your 5D reality than your 3D. So kind of like the environment that you really have major influence of change in, which is within yourself. Your mindset, the way you perceive yourself and others, and kind of like outside of you, your beliefs, how you handle childhood conditioning, if it really helps benefit you now that you're an adult, or do you need a release because you have outgrown that conditioning, or you realize that it's like not what you want in life, and now that you're more experienced in your own individual life as an adult, you have realized that you don't need, like these kind of things that you were led to believe that it was true, but you realize it wasn't true. It was just kind of this perceived perception of past people who might be your kind of parental figures. It might be your guardians, whoever raised you. And then even before them, it might be their guardians, whoever raised them. And then it's kind of like that ancestral karmic kind of chain of tradition, passing on tradition. So anyway, something about that. Long story short. And also we're gonna note the colors too, because I also deal a lot with chakras and understanding how to be aware of certain areas of your body, certain chakras, and how they're involved in your own kind of behavioral traits as well, what issues you're going through. So it's really cool to tune into your colors and chakras. And I'll go into more of that when I do explain what I am reading with that. We have Sloth, Seek nature's wisdom. We have raccoon, remove the mask. We have share your true colors. So one thing that came out with this, that when I was just like reading it, was myself going through my own mistakes and realizing that I did make a mistake when I thought I didn't. There's something about when it comes to reacting really fast, that's related to this, I'm getting this like fear of making mistakes. You realize and recognize that you kind of have a fast, irrational kind of reaction to different situations. And there's something about tuning into why, if it's kind of related to your past in terms of your childhood, in terms also even connected to past lives. I'm hearing like the Akashic records, something about tuning into that as well. It's really fun too. I mean, I think it's fun when you can like cord cut. So you can like cord cut attachments that you had in like past lives. I'm getting something about specifically connected to kind of like your connection with fear, something about how there might be some like something to do with your relationship with fear where it's hindering yourself. Because what you can do with fear, if you do have a tendency to be a bit toxic with it, is you can release it instead of hold on to it and allow it to mold your judgment of whatever situation the fear in you are connected to. So I'm getting that there's something about taking time of removing your perceived judgment of what fear is. And the fan is going, the fan to me is tuning in to change. And when you do that, like what I just said about perceiving into fear and tuning into what, like how fear is actually shaping you right now, that will shape fast change with removing the outside obstacles. I'm getting to what the fear is preventing you from actually accomplishing. Yeah, like at the end, once you release this fear, once you release and remove what, like, cause it's kind of like I'm getting in Mulan when Mushu was behind this rock and his shadow was so big and scary. And then he came out and here's this like tiny little dragon. Like I'm getting that's kind of what your fear is. It's your fear is like Mushu. So if you haven't ever watched Mulan, I highly recommend. I haven't watched the live action though. I really need to, but I love the animation. I think there's like Mulan 1, maybe Mulan 2. No, there is Mulan 1 and 2. What am I saying maybe for? There is. But there's something about how your fear right now, it's kind of like your Mulan when she first sees Mushu as this, like the shadow is huge. So she's assuming Mushu is a huge like creature. But then it's kind of like within time, he comes out, the mask is removed. He's no longer this big creature that's all scary and seems unbeatable. And it's kind of like now Mulan's like, wow, this is a creature that's so small. And I think she even kicks it, Mushu. I don't know. I don't, you know, I don't encourage violence, of course, but like, kind of like, it's just like this fear is making you seem like whatever the task at hand is like, just, oh my gosh, what just popped through my mind is like the 5 of Cups, kind of like you're just looking at situations where you're looking at the lack that happened, like what was spilled, instead of looking at what is here. There's something about specifically these 3 cards about what these are before what you kind of like were looking the lack mind with. And now you're looking at this now in terms of, maybe after this video, now you're going to be able to look at things like, especially with your fear, as how can you build yourself up from here? How can you look at yourself as a way of improving? Because it's about building your character up so that you have that kind of armor around your character when the outside world tries to hurt you, because the outside world is going to be people who are still fearful, people who want to be courageous like you, people who want to be authentic like you. There's something about empowering yourself when it comes to your authenticity, standing true with kind of what you believe. And it's about kind of releasing a lot of before, even past life. I'm getting Akashic record, your ancestral kind of connection as well, your childhood, like right now in this life, your childhood, teenagehood, something about doing shadow work specifically. I'm getting also when it comes to fear. So I want to, okay, so these two cards right here, I haven't looked at them, they were down, but it's kind of like in the Five of Cups where there's two, I believe it's two cups that are still up in the Rider-Waite original deck, the blue and white deck. I don't think I'm gonna put a picture up. If I do, that'd be cool, but anyway, it's not important. These two cards is kind of like what you can use as a way to motivate yourself, as a way to encourage yourself. Something about using this as a way to, yeah, like motivate when it gets to be really hard for you to face like fears. Kind of like I'm getting something about reminders of why you're doing this in the first place when it comes to this kind of releasing and then renewing with this kind of like new updated embodiment of yourself. We have Find Heart Connection, Seal, and Koala, Let Go. Okay, so releasing, letting go, I just got a really raunchy image of a TV show that I watched. It's this koala in the freaking zoo, and it was, I know this might be like not kid friendly, but the koala was like peeing, and it peed in this like cat's eye. The show, it's like on Fox. It's like Housebroken or something, I can't remember. But it's funny because there's like, if you have, I think it's on Hulu. If you have Hulu, check it out because it is good. But anyway, that's what the koala reminded me of. I don't know why. But there is something about, hear me out when I say this, emotional releasing that you need to do when it comes to fear. Fear, gosh. Okay, I just got this like, I think it's a Bible saying or something, a phrase, but something about fear is the root of all evil. Now, when it comes to evil, that is what you believe in. I am not going to say anything about it, but that is a saying that I've heard before. Basically, it's just, if you use fear as a way to act, you are going to get lack, okay? Please write that down. If you react with fear, you will receive lack, because fear is about looking at things with lack, thinking that your security is in scarcity. And right now you're not in that. Right now you are in the embodiment of abundance, prosperity. You are in the embodiment of you in your current reality. So there's something about fear kind of halting your kind of realization of self-empowerment, self-preservation. I'm hearing even self-autonomy for some of us, which for some of us, it might be a privilege to have self-autonomy. You know, this world is very interesting. You can never be closed-minded when it comes to understanding others' perspective of the world, because we're all raised in such unique ways. Yeah, so we also have find heart connection. So what I just said about kind of like relating to the rest of the world, maybe there's something about you can tune more into your own heart if you relate to something about how your pain is similar to others, and kind of finding inspiration in how others have healed their own similar resonating kind of wounds that you have. Something to do with that. I'm hearing about their behavior as well. Like kind of like when they get to this certain issue, dilemma that you're going through, specifically around fear, specifically around like, let's say you have a fear of getting a new job. So you type into Google, what to do when you realize you have a fear of getting a new job. And you realize that there's going to be a bunch of different options to see someone else's view of how to overcome this certain fear. So there's something about releasing and making room to be open to learning kind of like other people's view of, yeah, I'm getting healing, especially healing your heart chakra maybe, because I do want to talk about the colors. So in the cards, they actually are standing out to me. We have solar plexus, we have heart chakra, we have, especially, we have here, this is the order. The first one would be the root chakra, the peacock. Share your true colors. This is like authenticity, y'all. This is like you strut your stuff down that runway of a sidewalk, you know? Like even though it might be just your regular old neighborhood, you make it like you're the showstopper and you know who you are. There's something about the more you know who you are authentically, yeah, that's weird, authentically, then the more that you're going to shine, the more that you, but there is something about fear stopping you from shining, because it's kind of like you're not used to shining, like you're used to being in the shadows. Yeah, so we have also the solar plexus, which is about connecting to the heart chakra. There's something about passion and how it's kind of like part of your authentic you, but your outside environment hasn't been, it's been discouraging you from embodying your passion more. It's like not really supporting you, okay? Okay. And then we have the solar plexus. We actually have two of them. We have remove the mask, and then we have face your fears, all right? So both are about releasing, removing, and kind of like when you face, you're no longer hiding. So you're releasing this kind of, what's that word? Ignorant. You're like releasing your ignorance of what really is. I'm getting what really is connecting to your authentic version of love is what I'm getting. That's really cool. And then we have your heart chakra, okay? So with the solar plexus, it is connecting to your heart chakra. Koala. We have letting go. And then we have sloth. What does it say? Seek nature's wisdom. So there's something about, it is natural for you to let go, but it's about tuning into your passions. I don't know if you like to be a creative, if you like to do art, but I'll give you an example for me. I love to kind of write my feelings in the form of poetry. And I love to put on this like dark academia, kind of classical, getting for some reason it connects really well for me. So there might be different ways for you to use the things that you do more like separated, but mold it together. So I listen to music, I write down, like specifically for me, it's like writing down, you know, I love journaling, all that stuff. And then it's tuning into my feelings and opening up that way. There's something about how you can create some kind of environment for you, some kind of routine, ritual, where you are like excited to open up, excited to understand. I'm getting that it's really important for you right now, specifically collective, to tune into your feelings in a way where it's natural for you to do that. It's natural for you to let go of maybe the social personas, identity, mask that you have on, that you kind of led yourself to believe that is you, but you've learned that it just doesn't work for you. Something to do with that, like, oof, I'm getting like a big, okay, let's just go back to this, like, you know, that it's kind of like you take a huge ass breath and then you go back to something that you used to do as a kid that helped you, release stress that you might have gotten as a kid that in a healthy environment maybe you wouldn't receive as much. I don't know, you know, something like that. And that might be more for an individual person to hear, not the entire collective. But kind of like, yeah, you're just like, okay, let's see what really I'm feeling, because you realize you've been making different steps in a direction and you're not really understanding why. So this is your way of understanding why without feeling insecure or having your insecurities change your judgment or your perception of yourself in a certain way. Because sometimes when we get triggered, our insecurities kind of tell us maybe past judgments that you used to believe but you no longer believe. It kind of like stirs the pot, if you will. So right now I'm getting that the way that you can express your feelings through kind of creation and passion that you used to do as a kid or as a teenager. I'm getting specifically teenager. It's going to help you understand and kind of like catch up to where you're at now, because you haven't been able to specifically tap into this part of yourself. I'm getting that you thought for the longest time that you didn't need to do this certain thing in order to feel this emotional fulfillment, but you realize now that doing this certain thing is actually the reason why you can like feel this and understand this certain feeling, emotional fulfillment, something like that. I don't know. It kind of is like it fills your cup. We have Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. So yeah, just really tapping into, and honestly asking both of Master and Archangel, both of these, Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael, asking him to help you with this connection and helping you remove any of the unnecessary energies that's attached with like the connection cord, if you will. Because I'm getting, oh my gosh, I'm getting like back in the day when they used to have like people be telephone operators, and I'm getting that it's this show I watched called Frankie Drake Mysteries, but two people in the show were telephone operators, and they were able to tune into other people's conversations and actually, like, you know, just listen when they're not supposed to be listening. So there's something about tapping into and asking for support on removing whatever it is that would be like kind of those nosy people, if you will, that are not people specifically, but energies. And that will help you be able to connect a lot more easier. But I'm getting specifically the frequency, the clarity, the understanding that you will get in the 3D will be a lot easier. We have, what does it say? Oh man, I cannot say this word. Paradigm shift. This reminds me of Doctor Who. I love it. But there's something about this connection, the more that you're able to kind of smooth it out, kind of like butter on bread. Once that butter is room temperature, it's easier to spread on bread. Sorry. Once that butter is room temperature, it's easier to spread on bread. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I swear to gosh. Okay, I swear. By the moon and the stars in the sky, I'll be there forever. I'll be there. I'm in this song. I forget the song, but anyway. Yeah, I love having like a connection to the Great Divine, because a lot of the messages come through as jokes to me, and I'm always laughing to myself whenever I'm out and about, and I'm usually by myself because I don't know, I like my energy and it's enough for me, you know what I mean? But it's so funny. So anyway, what I just said, it's like, yeah, it's just, I'm getting that something about it being an enjoying time for you to do this certain hobby, this certain creative activity is really helping speed also your manifestations, helping open the doors of opportunity that you need to get. Oh, okay. I'm so getting the message the entire video. So removing this fear that you won't be able to connect to your heart chakra is going to be able to allow you to connect to your heart chakra, connect to your the love that you need in order to embody more of who you are, in order to support who you are. We have cosmic heart, cosmic Christ. So there is something about maybe tapping also into the Great Divine, whoever you believe in, that allows you to feel the embodiment of love and support you with this love. Tapping into whoever it is and asking for support in this time, because it is going to feel weird. Like your reality is changing. I think you're upgrading. It's like kind of like you just are upgraded anyway. So the more that you release, the more that you are upgrading, because that's what has been needed. If you've had any kind of halting extreme, it's because of this. There's something about how love is some kind of motivation when it comes to especially dark matter for you. What before would have made you really feel kind of depressed or anxious energy, where you feel like you're reacting out of fear, that's releasing and you're stepping more into, I'm getting like this energy of intentional action where you feel way more wise about what you're doing because you're realizing that it's a purpose for you too. There's something about that. Okay. We have karmic clearing. Like, I mean, you know, I've already explained this. Do we need to explain it? We can. But like for realsies though, I am getting that the fear has something to do with karma. And if you are willing, I would highly recommend checking out different videos on YouTube. I love Steve Nobel, S-T-E-V-E, and then N-O-B-E-L. I love his channel and his energy. He works on transmutation, and he also has karmic clearing. I've done some different meditation, transmutation videos, specifically with karma. I'm hearing also for you to check out Akashic Records. It doesn't need to be with Steve, but I highly recommend him. He is like top, he's top shelf he's top shelf grade A, good ass kush. All right. He is like really going to change the game when it comes to you releasing and having a lot more of an easier time. I'm getting that's one thing you've struggled a lot with in the past, whether it be in this lifetime or past, even your ancestors, where it's been hard for you to, and for them to release and feel comfortable knowing that it is released, and trusting that it is. There's something about the connection with that has been really hard. I don't know if there's a connection with the heart, with love, with trust, with faith, and like the kind of what you don't know is going to happen, the outcome, the unforeseen outcome. Something about those is really, really like a circle. They all matter together. And making sure that all the connections between all of it is cleared out and it's just like updated with where you are now, your perception of it now. We have reassurance of the golden light. It's Mercury retrograde. So reassurance of the golden light. This is something about, yeah, it's just kind of like, yeah, like I'm getting that releasing it, clearing yourself of the karma that you have been through is something that you absolutely deserve to do because you deserve to be clear of all that has happened. Why? We can't change the past. We can change now. So it's like you're kind of finding your scissors and cutting those cords that maybe you've heard in the past of other people kind of like empowering themselves. And you've always wanted to stand up for yourself. Say like, I matter. Say, you should appreciate me more. Those sort of things. And now you're able to, if you are open to what I'm suggesting or saying in this video, you're really able to just see who you are now, which I don't know if you've really been able to, because it's been a very dark night of the soul for you for a long time. So you absolutely deserve to see who you are now, which to me, you're like literally all of the foliage, all of the nature in this card. To me, that's who you are. And you know what's so interesting, I just realized, is that it's kind of like both of this is a gate. Like the door's opened here, right? the door has been shown here, and it kind of looks like it's opening here, okay? So it's kind of like, here's the thing, y'all. If you choose to say, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot, you're choosing to open the door. And you're choosing to walk forward. Even if you have fear, if you allow your fear to motivate you to move forward, maybe with more care, you know? Maybe your fear just is saying to you, hey, we might need to take more care of ourselves right now because we assume we're strong, but maybe right now we need to focus more on healing ourselves, releasing. That is interesting. So I'm getting that, and I am packing up because I'm finishing, I guess. You know, it's kind of like I'm getting like a teacher who's just packing up because they want to go. Anyway, let me stop. So I'm getting that basically if you want to move forward in the direction that you want to move forward, it's not the physical 3D that you need to move forward in, it's a 5D. So you need to work, I'm hearing specifically on releasing within and using some kind of passion, a couple different passions you've developed along your way with your life right now, from being a child to being like an adult, and kind of like along the way, I'm getting it's kind of like, oh, I'm totally getting this. It's like a ruler, right? And along the ruler is like your lifetime right now. So you're a certain age. Along your journey of being you, you've developed certain types of hobbies, of passions that ignite tuning into your emotional body. That's what I'm getting, where the action is really taking place is emotion, because your heart is like the train station hub of your emotional body. And really like your mind is the kind of hub of your dreams too. Yeah, your dreams too. Like my throat chakra throughout this video is just going in and out. So it's going to feel awkward. It's going to feel kind of like, basically you just need to laugh along with the hiccups and just the mishaps and the mistakes and what makes it so cool to be human beings in this world. You have to learn. Ugh, I don't want to, but you have to anyway. So that's the video. It's kind of long, but you know, that message needed to get out there. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed the message myself. It was very enlightening. Until next video, I hope you enjoy the holidays. And remember that even if you're not sharing it with anyone, or maybe, you know, you're by yourself, remember that your spirit team, your ancestors, they're there with you and they're celebrating with you. It might not be in the physical, but they're with you in spirit. They're with you the more that you're able to kind of tune into yourself. So yeah, remember you're not alone, and I'm with you also if you are alone and you're celebrating the holidays by yourself. I get it. Me too. So it's okay. But you do have people, you know, you do have entities that are there with you. So anyway, bye everyone. Happy holidays.